I hate it for Kyle Larson. We were all cheering for him for this daily double to go way better than it did, and Mother Nature just it had other plans. So people are mad that he chose Indy race over his main series, the Coke 600. And then he didn't even race a lap in the Cup Series event, losing out on a lot of points. He's no longer the points leader.
Which he wouldn't have got the points even if he did.
Yeah, he had to be there to start the race for him to get the points. So when they delayed the IndyCar race past 2 hours, him starting the race at Charlotte was a no-go. It was not going to happen anyway. So he had to make that decision to start the Cup race. He had to leave by like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and they were still nowhere near ready to start the IndyCar race. And then people were saying, should Kyle Larson get a playoff waiver because he missed a race, voluntarily chose another series over his main series, because it says in the rule book you got to complete all 36 races if eligible, or if you are not hurt, or they didn't even say that, just complete all 36 races, and if you don't, you got to get a playoff waiver. People saying he shouldn't get that.
To be eligible
there's
on wins.
There's a lot of things going on with this.
Make sure you state this. The playoff, he can still make the playoffs if he doesn't get the waiver. He's just not eligible for the winner's, automatic bid. He can still make it on points and will still make it on points if he doesn't get the waiver. He's just not granted an automatic playoff berth based on his wins.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought if you miss a race and
you
can give it to you, you're done.
Yeah, you can still point your way in.
Which he's third in points.
He's good.
Yeah.
Like he's as long as he shows up for the rest of the races, he'll be fine.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So answer the question: should he get a playoff waiver?
Yes, I mean they're handing them out like candy. They gave one to Chase Elliott, they gave one to Bowman, they gave one to Kurt Busch, even though he never came back.
Now these are all injuries.
They all are in. Yes, they are. But they got it. Would I give him one? No.
So your answer is no then.
You asked will they?
Should they?
Should they? No, I don't think they should. He chose another series over the Cup Series. And I know we're all cheering and we wanted that to happen, but at some point, and I know there's so much time he put into Indy, practicing and qualifying, and the collaboration with Hendrick and McLaren it took so long. He'd been practicing this for so long. I get why he stayed there. But at the end of the day, your main goal should be trying to win the Coke 600 at Charlotte. And he would, I'm not saying I would have done anything different. But there's got to be some. You got to reap your consequences. There's got to be consequence to your actions. And if you choose another series over your main job, there's got to be some consequences to that. So I don't think he should, but he will. And I don't necessarily disagree with NASCAR's decision because it's not like he blew off the Cup race to do a dirt race or something. And hey, I ain't trying to throw shade at dirt racers. But it's the Indy 500. I get it's the most. There's not really a difference.
That's what
it's just the prestige of it.
Why does the race that he blew NASCAR off matter?
It shouldn't, but it does. PR-wise, it shouldn't. So I don't think he should, but he will. And NASCAR did everything they could to try to help Larson out in the situation, and it was kind of out of Larson's control because of the rain. If it goes on at 12 o'clock when it does, and no rain happens, and he flies to Charlotte, he gets in his car and he makes it. It's not like he chose a race at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it started when it was supposed to, and it ended, and he still didn't make it back in time. Then that would be even more egregious. But rain got in the way. I think they'll give him a pass. Rick Hendrick was there. Jeff Gordon was there at Indy cheering him on. They came back all together, and they knew this could possibly happen. But, they will. But I do see why. If they don't for some reason, I could definitely see why, but they will.
So I'm 100% on board with Kyle Larson staying at Indy. I think that was the correct decision. Even though he's a NASCAR driver, he's got shit to do. He's got a job to do. It is what it is. But you never know how many opportunities you're going to get to run the Indy 500. You just don't know. Could be a one and done type deal. You know, they say that he's got opportunity to run it next year. Maybe, but you never know, right? So you have to take that opportunity. And I do not blame him one iota for doing it. I probably would have made the same decision. As far as NASCAR goes, no. They do not need to grant him a playoff waiver. I have been consistent on this issue. Every time this comes up, I said, no, Kurt Busch doesn't deserve a playoff waiver. I said, no.
They made the playoffs.
Chase Elliott doesn't deserve a playoff waiver.
They make the playoffs.
No. Eric Jones doesn't deserve a playoff waiver.
He's not going to make the playoffs. Well, that's a match still to be determined. But
I'm consistent on these issues. You do not deserve a playoff waiver. You need to start. The reason Eric Jones, I'm saying no. If he would have only missed the one race and would have came back when he was cleared and run his second race after he got hurt, yes, he would have deserved a playoff waiver. But if you get hurt outside of the car, or you just miss a race, or if you get suspended, you do not deserve a win and you're in playoff exception.
It's different.
No.
Because
if you do
want
something,
to race,
it doesn't matter. If you do something so dumb, NASCAR says do not come this week, you do not deserve to make the playoffs if you win a race.
Well, then your NASCAR's taking away his chance to make a playoff.
Don't do something to get fucking.
That's fair.
If Kyle Larson got suspended this weekend, guess what? He would still make the playoffs on points. So Kyle Larson's still going to make the playoffs, regardless of if they give him a playoff waiver. It doesn't matter, really. It only matters for seeding. But that's something that you have to...
So would his wins count? His wins wouldn't count if they don't give him one.
I think you still take the playoff points from the wins. But,
But instead of being locked in, you'll have those... I mean, when he's got 2 or however many he gets, he'll still just be...
He'll be the first guy without
a win.
Without a win.
Showing. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
And that's the way it should be. Yeah. Because guess what? Brad Keselowski showed up to every race. And he, that's the rule.